Welcome to the lovely town of Amarillo. Welcome to the Saloon of Amarillo. Big blind is $4. The small blind is $2. The gentleman calls.
Raise?
The miss calls.
I fold.
Flop.
Check.
The lady calls. Turn. The madam calls. All in with $220.
Give me the chips. Come on.
This player is out of money. Player has left the table. Welcome to the Saloon of Amarillo. Big blind is $4. Small blind is $2.
Raise.
The gentleman calls. The lady calls.
Well, that's a lot to bet. Fold.
That's a lot to bet. Now fold.
I raise.
The madam wins $561. This player is out of money. Player has left the table.
Raise. Fold.
I fold.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $54.
Fold. I check. Check.
Check.
Fold.
Now fold.
The gentleman wins $16. The big blind is raised to $8.
I raise.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
I check. Fold.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
I raise. Check. Fold.
The gentleman wins $92.
Fold.
The missed calls. The gentleman calls. Flop.
I check.
All in with $236.
Oh, man, I'm doing good. Fold.
Now fold.
The gentleman calls. The flop.
Raise.
Turn. The madam calls. The river.
Raise.
The gentleman calls. The big blind is raised to $12.
I raise. I got you.
The lady calls.
I raise.
Fold.
That's it. Those chips are mine.
The flop.
Check. Wow, I'm shaking. I raise.
I fold.
Raise. That's a lot to bet. I raise.
The lady calls. The river.
Raise.
The missed calls.
That's it. Those chips are mine.
The winner takes $404.
I fold.
I raise.
The missed calls. The flop.
Fold.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $120. The big blind is raised to $16. The gentleman calls. The flop.
I check. Check.
I check.
Turn.
Check. Check.
I raise.
I fold. Fold.
The river. The gentleman wins $100. This player is out of money. Player has left the table. The missed calls. The missed calls.
I check. Raise.
The gentleman calls. River.
I check.
I raise.
Hey, I'm doing pretty well.
Split pot. The flop.
I check.
I check. I raise.
I fold.
Give me the chips.
The gentleman calls. The missed calls. The gentleman calls.
Raise.
Turn.
I check.
Raise.
The madam calls. River.
Check.
Check.
That's it. These chips are mine.
The miss wins $360. The big blind is raised to $20. The miss calls. Player checks. Flop. Player checks. Turn.
Raise.
The gentleman calls. The river.
I check.
I win.
The miss calls. The gentleman calls.
I check.
Player checks. The madam calls. The miss calls.
Raise.
The gentleman wins $867.
Check.
Flop.
I check.
I check.
Turn.
I raise.
Fold.
I'm the winner.
The missed calls. The flop. Turn.
I check.
I check.
I check.
Split pot. The big blind is raised to $30.
That's a lot to bet.
The madam calls.
Wow, I'm shaking.
All in $126. Turn. The river.
I knew I was good.
This player is out of money. Player has left the table.
Sorry, I won.
The madam calls. Player checks.
I check. Check.
The river. Player checks.
Look out for me.
The miss wins $60. The gentleman calls.
I check.
Turn.
I check.
Player checks. The river.
Raise. I win.
The winner takes $188. The big blind is raised to $50.
Raise.
The gentleman calls. The flop.
Raise.
The gentleman calls. The lady calls. The madam wins $1,056.
I check.
The flop.
Check.
The river.
Raise.
All in with $194.
Raise. Sorry, I won. Check. Raise.
The gentleman calls. River.
Raise.
The gentleman calls.
Look out for me.
The big blind is raised to $100.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $150.
I check.
Player checks. Turn. All in with $1,069.
That's it. These chips are mine.
Flop. Turn. River. The gentleman wins $162. The gentleman calls. All in with $1,088. Flop. Total pot is $1,250. The gentleman wins $324. The big blind is raised to $150. The lady calls. Flop. Player checks. All in with $926.
Sorry, I won.
The gentleman calls.
That's a lot to bet. I check. Check.
Turn. All in with $1,076.
Sorry, I won.
The flop. Turn. The river.
Look out for me.
This player is out of money. Player has left the table.